Hey guys, I'm going to do a product line question. They want to know whether we should drop a particular product line because it's operating at a loss. So what we're going to do is compare the product line operating income before we drop the product and then hypothetically after we drop the product. And if the operating income is greater with the product, we keep it. If it is greater after we drop it, then we drop it. So let's read the problem and go through the examples. McCallum Company manufactures two products. Both products have the same sales price. The volume of sales is equivalent. However, due to the difference in production process, product A has higher variable costs, product B has higher fixed costs. Management is considering dropping product B because that product line has an operating loss. And here you can see the data. They have the same sales price. Product A has higher variable cost, and product B has higher fixed cost. And the question number 9 says, if fixed costs cannot be avoided, should McCallum drop product B? Why or why not? Okay, so question number 9 assumes that fixed costs cannot be avoided. So what we're going to have to do is compare the two scenarios. So what I did was I just copied this income statement here, and I copied it here, and we'll change the numbers, and depending on which number is higher, that will determine which scenario that we go with. So the top one is the keep scenario. It's exactly, all the data is exactly the same as it currently is. And then we will change this bottom income statement using the drop scenario data. So it says, if fixed costs cannot be avoided, should they drop product B? Okay, so that means these fixed costs here cannot be avoided regardless if we drop the product. So if we drop the product, these fixed costs are going to continue to be here. Either they'll move over to product A, they'll be spread out to other products that they produce, but the $45,000 will still be there. So we're going to leave that number there. If they drop product B, they will no longer have net sales, so that will go to 0. They will no longer have variable costs, that will go to 0. And they will no longer have contribution margin, but they will still have that $45,000 in fixed costs. So comparing the two numbers, negative $45,000 here versus negative $5,000 here. Obviously, negative $5,000 is not a great number, but it is less than the negative $45,000. So fixed costs cannot be avoided. The difference would be this minus this. That's $40,000 difference. And actually, I probably should, let me do it this way. It's equal to this number, which is larger, minus this, and it's $40,000 in additional operating income in the keep scenario. So for question number 9, we would keep. So I'll just write keep here. Additional $40,000 operating income. Okay. Now, let's read number 10 and do the same process. If 50% of product B's fixed costs are avoidable, should McCallum drop product B? Why or why not? So let's compare this keep scenario with this 50% fixed cost can be avoided scenario. So let's go right here to fixed cost. Rather than 45,000, they now 50% are avoidable. So we'll multiply this times 0.5. That's 50%. So now rather than being 45,000, they're now 22,500. However, in order for those fixed costs to go down, we're going to have to drop the product. Net sales go to 0. variable costs go to 0, contribution margin is 0, and we have $22,500 in fixed costs. Now, comparing -$22,500 versus $22,500, that's a positive difference of $17,500. So in that scenario, we would also keep an additional $17,000 in operating income. So in both scenarios, because these numbers are positive, this number is larger than this number. This number is larger than this number. So under both scenarios, we would keep the product line. Now, don't be confused because these are negative numbers. A negative number can be negative, but it's still bigger than another negative number that is even more negative. So just because the number is negative, that doesn't mean you have to drop the product line. Because dropping it would make the number even more negative because those fixed costs are still there. And under this scenario, most or half of those fixed costs are still there. So rather than take a $22,500 loss or a $45,000 loss, we'll just continue taking a $5,000 loss and hopefully recover that later on in the business. So that's how you solve a product line question. You just compare the different scenarios based on what the changes in the fixed costs are, and you choose the scenario that has the highest operating income. Hope this helps, guys, and good luck on your test.